No worries, thank you. And I'm glad now everyone's already crying. I don't have to make anyone cry. Thank you, Alicia, for those inspiring words, and thank you, Melanie. Thank you, everyone. Really honored to share the stage with amazing leaders from our city and beyond. Really, really inspiring. I'm gonna speak briefly about. My name's Ann Rosenthal. My title is Farm to School Specialist with City Schools. So I work actually as part of the Food and Nutrition Services department with city schools, but partner with the staff focused on sustainability. So I'll talk to you briefly just tonight about our commitment as it stands now to sustainability and getting waste out of or helping reduce waste across the district. And then I'll talk about looking forward a little bit. So Greg, if you can, do you have my slides up, or if not, I can share them. I think I want to start off with an acknowledgement that with more than 170 schools and about 80,000 students learning and eating every day on our campuses, we acknowledge that our sites and our operations are responsible for large amounts of solid waste in the city. In 2016, the district announced, hold on, I'm going to share. Let me just share my screen. Oops. Oh, I can't. So Greg, if you can get it up, great. If not, it's no problem. But so in 2016, the district developed its first sustainability policy. So there were major points in there about educating and empowering students. And it's awesome to see, some of the youth leaders that have come through the district today. The board also committed to creating an environmentally sustainable school district, and specifically committed to launching a sustainability plan, which it didn't have prior. So in 2019, the district launched its first sustainability plan, and reducing and conserving natural resources represented one main pillar of that. Out of like 6 pillars, that was one main pillar. So there's been some progress in the past few years. I think really importantly, I'm excited to have the opportunity to speak tonight because my colleague Joanna Pisanier, who leads the district sustainability work, is planning to renew. The sustainability plan has to be renewed every 3 years. And this upcoming year, so 2021 to 2022, the district will actually be renewing its commitment and updating its plan. And she's planning to lead that in a way that's more participatory than has been the past, and will, hopefully be able to incorporate all of your voices and feedback and efforts. So please stay tuned for ways to make your voice heard for that process. I'll speak really briefly about what's happening in schools. So in classrooms, you've already seen we have some really incredible leaders, and there have been kind of ramped up educational efforts to engage students and staff in reducing waste and promoting recycling on their sites. The district has partnered with the Office of Sustainability to support teachers who lead. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Greg. So I'm on the second bit of this now. To support teachers who lead green teams. So there are more resources for their projects that they're doing on their campuses and beyond. Behind the scenes, I just want to mention, so the district, the facilities team monitors energy use by building, and they flag schools with high utilities to make sure they're targeting their upgrades accordingly, et cetera. On the top right here, you can see that a couple new schools were built this year, Graceland Park, O'Donnell Heights, and Hollowbird Academy, with a focus on a net zero impact. You can watch that video tour on YouTube. But those are just some of the behind the scenes, not necessarily food waste related, but overall related to waste. And then really importantly, so the last piece here is more kind of my purview, focusing on cafeterias and what's happening at Great Kids Farm, which is a really beautiful farm that's owned and operated by city schools, specifically by the Food and Nutrition Services Department. So on the bottom right, you can see some students who were on the farm last year, digging through our worm bins, learning about composting and food systems and cycles. So on the farm, we try to make sure as many students as possible are feeling connected to their food system in ways that, inspire them to think about their impact and the impact of their actions, et cetera. So in our cafeterias, we've also made some big strides in recent years. We definitely have room to improve, but we have transitioned to compostable cutlery and trays and to-go containers. So hopefully there will be a smoother transition once there's a bit more infrastructure, and we hope to be part of that conversation. But there's already way less plastic going into our waste stream. We have streamlined our ordering, inventory kind of management processes, and importantly, the ways we train our food service staff, so that there's less waste overall, there's less spoilage, they're not ordering, more than we need, etc. Like I mentioned, we've scaled up our farm to school programs to make sure students are really getting a chance to connect to their food systems and appreciate it in a meaningful way. And we lately especially have been ramping up our work with food rescue. Some of you may know they're city produce boxes being distributed across the city, and we really have kind of doubled down to make sure none of those are going to waste. We know there's a lot of need, and so we're working with partners, just different grassroots organizations, to make sure those boxes and produce are not going to waste. One last thing I would say, I really appreciate that this event tonight has reinforced the links between waste and labor. I just want to take a minute to recognize the really important role. There's no way I can share my screen, is there, Greg or Melanie? If not, it's okay, but I have one slide that I would love to share with some pictures of staff. No, if I'm getting the thumbs down, that's okay. It's telling me it's disabled.
Melanie, is it possible?
I'm not sure what's happening.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You would see.
Please send it, and we'll make sure that all attendees have that when we share out our recap of the event.
Okay, no worries. I just added some. I have some amazing photos of our staff in action. The food nutrition services staff, who I'm really honored to call teammates, have been at our school serving meals really since day one. They had, I think, 2 days break before our emergency kind of grab and go sites were operating once schools closed. So they've really been on the front lines. And oops, oh yeah, I am able to share now. Awesome, thank you, Alicia. Okay, let's see. I'm going to share really quickly. I know I have 1 minute, but I'm going to share just this last slide so you can really put, because I think when we think about how we can transition and what kind of strategies we need to use inside and out of our cafeterias, feedback and input from our staff is really important, because again, they're the ones every day. So you'll see on the right, let's see, on the right here, you'll see, oops, my thing is not. Well, on the left, you see students on the farm. On the right, you'll see photos of our amazing staff in action. On top is one of our managers on stage. The students are interviewing her on the farm, learning about her amazing work. And on the right, you can see some trainings we held actually focused on food waste. We screened for all of our food nutrition service staff, screened the movie Wasted, and gave them a chance. On the bottom right, they toured the produce facility to learn about food systems and think more broadly about kind of how they fit in a really important way to our food system. So I just want to make sure I'm honoring their contributions and recognizing that as we move forward and try to strategize as a district about what we should be doing, we need to make sure that their input is really front and center, in addition to the custodial workers who are a huge part of our footprint. So I, again, thank you so much for inviting us to share this Zoom stage, and just really an honor to be here and excited to continue to be part of the conversation. Thank you.